Alright, while we're here, let's give us some enemies. Give some sprites for the enemies. Way back up here. So what should we do? I guess I don't need any of these comments now. But I should put in the name of this. So what enemy do I want? Processing, sprites, sprites. Oh, what looks like a decent enemy. Ooh, that guy. I think I like that guy. He looks angry. I suppose that's why I called him statue1 angry. So let's do statue1 underscore angry.png, just like I have there. And I should probably go load the enemy sprite to be that. So rather than this, let me think. I think I have a sprite. Let's see, if I'm looking at these various game object things, I can just do the floats and then a string for my image path. Perfect. So back up where I was with the enemies. Instead of doing 30 by 30, I can do that thing that I just forgot. This thing. Copy. Paste. The statue1 angry. There we go. It's looking like a game. Little ball objects are kind of weird though. Maybe I can find a sprite for that too. Bomb seems a little aggressive. Yeah, let's go with that guy. That one looks better. So an item underscore void.png. Add it to our list of preloaded. Item underscore void.png. I suspect I will need this in just a moment. And now we need to go hunt down where we create the ball objects. So it's not in setup, it's in spacebar for my player. Yeah, right there. And it is in the alarm events for my enemies. Right there. Oh, cool. I like that. Now, what about a scrolling background? My plan is basically to have two backgrounds that overlap. And basically, one is, as one is scrolling down, the other one jumps back up to the top and overlaps it. And as that one comes down, the one that goes off the bottom jumps up to the top and overlaps it. So I'm actually going to have two different images that are going to make this up. So I'm going to have a p image background 1, background 2. Now, something that's key to know about this particular game is that objects are drawn in the order they're created, which means if I want things to draw over the top of the background, I need to draw the background first, so everything else draws over the top of it. So I'm actually going to create at the very top of setup these two. And actually, these are not p images. These are going to be game objects. They're going to have images in them, now that I think about it. New game object. This one I'll just create at 0, 0 and give it the image that I'm going to have here in just a second. And background 2 is going to be a new game object at 0, -600, I think. So speaking of, what am I going to use for a background? So my plan is to use a image that wraps naturally. So you can actually make images that do this in GIMP, kind of cool, or you can find them. But basically the top and bottom match up, and often the left and right match up as well. So I'm going to go grab the background image I already downloaded. Backgrounds. So I have this grass background that happens to have that property. You could use any image you wanted for the background, just be aware that it would probably have a pretty noticeable line as you scroll from one to the other. So once again, up to the top, add this to my giant list o images. Grass background.jpg. And that is now going to go in here. Spelling errors, they will get you. When I very first did this game, I really had trouble because I had misspelled grass. As I'm still having spelling errors. Alright, so that's the two backgrounds, and it looks something like this. Now, that's not going to be quite enough. I should probably layer this in a little nicer. So I'm going to create a couple rows of this. So when I am drawing the background object, I want to actually have it be made up of multiple images. So because of that, I'm going to give these two a class tag, because I'm going to group them together, where they're called a background. And when I get down to the drawing code, if it is a background, I'm actually going to just have it draw multiple images when it does it. Back down to drawing code, way down here towards the bottom. So this is the special code for drawing avatars. What if the class tag is a background? Hopefully those two don't overlap. So if this is the case, I'll draw the basic image. So that was just my sprite at my X and Y. But also, let's also draw the sprite at X plus the sprite width and Y. So if we look at this, notice it draws two of them over each other. And look, somebody nicely put that together. Those people are awesome. Let's add another one just to the right of that. So sprite width times 2. There we go. And then it looks like I need another layer here. So I'm going to do this again, those 3. Except I'm going to do plus a sprite height next to the Y's. Oh, it's looking so good. Okay. Now the other thing I'd like to do is actually make it so that these things actually move. So I want to give them a speed. Technically I could do this here in this drawing a code, but it's probably not the proper place to deal with movement. This is supposed to be just about drawing, not about actually moving things. So I'm actually going to go back here up into the update objects here and deal with the background code here for movement. So I'm going to give, if the class tag is background, and I'll deal with movement here. Actually, now that I think about it, I should probably just give these guys a speed and a direction. So background 1.speed. I'll just have it go to speed of 1. Around 1.direction is 270. That way I can take care of this with the code I've already got. Dot speed equals 1. Background 2.direction equals 270. Alright, so I have the basic speed and direction now. So now I need to update, under update objects, my background. So if this thing goes off the bottom of the screen, if objects A dot y is greater than game height. Let's jump it back. Let's do the 600 again. Objects a dot y is minus 600. Alright, so we got a scrolling look there. Looks like I could use a little more overlap. Alright, if I go back down to the drawing, I'm going to give each of my backgrounds another row. And we can just do sprite height times 2, sprite height times 2 times 2. There we go. Alright, hopefully that gives you the basics of what you need for your game. So it's got timing events, things that I've created. It's got the various objects. I might want to make it slightly better and get the exact math on where I need to place my backgrounds, but other than that, that gives you a lot of the pieces that you need.